For the last few years, 4K monitors have become more accessible to more people, especially in the monitor side of things, where a number of monitors are at or below sort of £300 mark at the time of filming. And of course, on the graphics card side, that has happened, but just to a bit of a lesser extent. The biggest problem that people have had with monitors, 4K monitors for gaming though, is mostly the refresh rate, mostly because you really can't push that much data through a cable, and then on top of that, the lack of panels and scalers that are available to actually make that happen is also pretty rare too. All of these problems though seem to have been overcome, and finally, quite literally 2 years later, I finally have one in my hands. A 4K 144Hz monitor, and my god, it is amazing. Asus have named this beast the PG27UQ, and I should mention that the noise that you're hearing is actually the fan inside of it. It is a little bit on the loud side. It's not anything that would distract you from your gaming experience, but you know, a sensitive microphone sitting right next to it on the sort of side of it, you might hear it, so apologies for that. But otherwise, this really does tick all of the boxes when it comes to the best possible features a monitor can have. Obviously, it has a 4K resolution of 3840 by 2160. It has the 144Hz refresh rate when you set it in the menu. But on top of that, it's also an IPS panel, which means some incredible viewing angles for such an incredible monitor. Here's the side to sides, which again are still pretty impressive, and the top to bottoms as well. So this could be a great content watching screen, as it also has HDR support thanks to its quantum dot LED panel. So again, also very impressive. And then on top of that, it has a 4 millisecond gray to gray response time, which while most, professional CSGO players would scoff at the idea of that, for us normies, you're not going to notice any difference, and it's perfectly fine for gaming. In terms of color accuracy for the panel, I was using my Spider 5 to test as usual, and it was incredibly impressive. 95% gamut coverage of the sRGB spectrum, 88.8% of Adobe RGB, and 80.5% of the DCI-P3, so really good. And finally, it also has NVIDIA's G-Sync as well, which means that even when your GPU, which inevitably won't be able to run at 144 frames per second, constantly drops below that, your gameplay experience is still nice and smooth as butter. Now, the monitor doesn't shy away from being very flashy. First of all, you've got the more standard nowadays light in motion lighting down at the bottom of the stand. This can technically be customized with some blank slates that you can put in the little thing that goes on the bottom, and it is only a red LED as far as I can see, but you can, like all of the other RGB and other lighting options on the monitor, can be turned off in the monitor's menu system. You also have RGB lighting on the back of the panel. This is actually Aura RGB and can be synced with any Asus, motherboards, graphics cards, or peripherals that you have, and is also actually kind of a bit more subtle than some other monitors, with it sort of being slightly muted through frosted kind of looking semi-transparent plastic. So I actually kind of like that. I also kind of like the light and motion stuff at the bottom, but to go with the most over-the-top, just extravagant lighting feature that the monitor has, that would be the RG signal on the back. And when I say RG signal, I mean RG bat signal. It literally has a projector in the top of the stand that projects the RG logo onto your ceiling, because why not? Now, enough about lighting, let's talk about the gaming experience, because that's why we're all here, right? It is absolutely incredible. It is incredibly smooth, yet so crisp and detailed. I was using an RTX 2080 Ti because, of course, I was, and the games that I was playing, I played CSGO for the camera, but also played a bit of Rocket League, a bit of Rainbow Six Siege, a bit of PUBG and stuff like that. So getting a feel for the monitor, but the one that I filmed was CSGO, and as you can see here, I was just jaw-dropped by how incredibly impressive the gameplay experience was. Now, it's not going to give you much of a competitive edge over someone using, say, a 1440p 165Hz monitor, or even 1080p 240Hz, but in terms of the crispness and the detail that you get, it's just beautiful, but also is still so fluid and smooth in the motion. So really very, very impressive, and highly recommended to anyone, really. Now, the problem with me recommending this monitor to everyone is the same as the same problem I'd have with me recommending everyone should own a Ferrari. The experience is fantastic, but the price tag makes it just not feasible for most people. That's the same here. The price tag for this monitor is just over £2,000. Yes, £2,000 for a monitor, and it's about the same in dollars as well. So make sure that you're in the top 1% of the world's wealthiest population if you want to get one of these. I'd also mention that the system you're going to want to have next to it for actually running this thing, yeah, that's probably going to be about £3,000. So if you have £5,000 to burn on a great gaming experience for the few games that you'll be able to play that actually run at the right FPS, then it's an incredible experience and I highly recommend it. If you're the rest of the population though, if you're a normie like me, then yeah, this is going to be a bit more of a pipe dream for us. Now, of course, the question I ask in all of these videos is, would I put this on my desk? And the answer is, if I had £2,000 to spend on just on a monitor, then definitely. It is an incredible experience and I highly recommend it to anyone who has that sort of money just, burning a hole in their pocket. If, however, you are a normal person, like, the normal me, then I would say no. It is not really great value for money in any sense of the word. While it's an incredible experience, 4K and 165 Hz, like the PG279Q that I have personally and have on my desk, is less than half the price, but gives you a very similar experience. Linus did a video that kind of covers this in good detail, but the distance you sit away from your monitor, you have to sit pretty close to this to see any visual difference between that and, say, a 1440p monitor a little bit further away. So it kind of depends on how far you sit, but generally speaking, it's not really worth it for the vast majority of people, and that's me included. So if after all of that you're still interested in picking up one of these monitors, or if you just want to check out the pricing when and where you watch this, take a look at the top link in the description down below, and I'll take you to your local Amazon store where you can see all of that sort of information. You can also check out the rest of the links in the description down below if you want to support the channel. There's Amazon Overclockers UK affiliate links, which massively help me out. They don't cost you anything, but they're a massive help to me. You can also check out the Patreon if you want to support me directly and get cool rewards for doing so. And you can also check out the rest of the links. There's a Humble Bundle and private internet access, which are also great. And of course, if you're new to the channel, then make sure you hit that subscribe button for more videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you have any questions, then feel free to leave them in the comments down below. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Check out the other videos over there, and we'll see you all in the next video.